Welcome! If you have come to this presentation, that means that you are unable to attend our first Title I curriculum night on November 6, 2019 at 5:30 at the Patricia A. Duran School. We are so glad that you have found this presentation and encourage you to reach out to us if you have any questions regarding the presentation and the information that's presented there. My name is Melissa Davis. I'm the Curriculum Coordinator for the Herman School Department, and I'm also the Title I Coordinator. You can reach me at the central office either by email or by phone, but I'll also include the information of the Title I teachers in this presentation too, so that you can ask direct questions about your child to the correct teacher. So we started off our presentation with talking a little bit about what Title I is. There are some misconceptions about Title I, and I want to give a little bit of an overview. So Title I is actually a component of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, also known as ESSA. It's a federally funded program that allocates supplemental money to schools around the country based on the number of low-income families residing in the district. So the number of low-income families determines how much money our district gets. Our district is then able to use those funds to create educational support systems for students who are in need of support. Even though the funding is determined by the number of low-income families, all students, regardless of their income, can be a part of Title I programming. Income is never considered when determining who receives Title I support. The funding programs work to ensure that all students are able to be successful in school. So how do you go about qualifying for Title I? So here at the Patricia A. Duran School, we use a multiple measures approach for determining the best way to support all students. So the staff as a whole meets 3 times a year to discuss every single student in the school and assess ways that we can support them. For some students, that means how can we put in place supports in the regular ed classroom that can challenge that student or can provide additional support. For others, it's looking at programs like Title I. Is this the best fit for that child? Does it provide some needed interventions that would help that student be successful in the regular classroom? The staff looks at a number of different data points before making that decision. So it is not relying on just one test to determine whether or not a child meets the criteria for being placed in Title I. We look at standardized testing, which includes our Ames Web assessment or our NWEA standardized testing data. We look at in-class work. We look at teacher observations and our Fontes and Pinnell assessment. Those are all examined and discussed for each student before deciding whether or not Title I would be the best support for that student. As the year goes on, we continuously review the data to determine if the student is ready to exit Title I supports or if there are other supports that need to be put in place. So once again, the interventions that are decided for each student are going to be the best fit for each child. So once the teachers have determined that Title I is the best approach for that student, then the Title I teachers and the regular class teachers decide what program is going to be the best for that child within Title I. So we have a number of different programs that are aimed to get at certain skill sets. So we have Do the Math, and we have Number Sense. For math, for literacy, we have letter and sound identification work, LLI, which is Leveled Literacy Interventions, and then we also have the Foundations program, which is through the Wilson program. All of these are designed with very specific skill sets in mind. So if you haven't already met the teachers, I'm sure you're wondering who they are. We have 3 fantastic Title I teachers. The first is Marissa Kelly. She is one of our 2 math interventionists. Marissa earned her undergraduate degree from the University of Maine at Farmington and is currently working toward her master's degree in educational leadership with a focus on mathematics. Marissa is in her 5th year of teaching here at Herman. Next, we have Catherine Goodman, who is our second math interventionist. Catherine earned her undergraduate and master's degree from the University of Maine, and she is currently completing her final course for a Certificate of Advanced Graduate Study in Educational Leadership at St. Joseph's College. She has been working for the Duran School department since 2011, starting as a classroom teacher in 4th grade for 8 years, and now works as the school's teacher leader and math interventionist. And then finally we have Lindsay LaPointe, who is our literacy interventionist. She earned her undergraduate degree from Bates College and her master's degree from the University of Maine. She has been with the Duran School department for 14 years, starting as a classroom teacher in 1st grade for 9 years, and has been a literacy interventionist ever since. She is Orton Gillingham certified, meaning that she specializes in training with students who have reading challenges. These are the people that you would want to reach out to if you have any questions about programming, what it looks like in the classroom, and if you have specific questions about your child. They can be reached via email, or you can leave a message in the main office and they will get back to you. One piece that we completed during our night together was the Parent-School Compact. And so parents had the opportunity to look at what we feel are important as educators in the classroom, but they also had an opportunity with their child to go around and add some information about what they think the school's responsibility is in title, parents' responsibility, and then the students' responsibility. So we got some really interesting feedback. You will see a revised parent compact going home to you within the next month or so that includes all of the information that parents and students provided during this evening. So more specifically into the programming, what does Title I Math look like? So we use 2 different programs. The first is Do the Math. And Do the Math is really a hands-on program. It's standards aligned and it meets the needs of math students where they are. This intervention is designed to support the in-class math program bridges. So a lot of the work that your child will be doing in Do the Math and the title program is going to support the skills that they need when they take their regular math class. Pre-unit assessments help expose gaps in the child's learning so that we can target their specific area of needs. So there are built-in assessments in this specific program that help the teacher identify just where the hang-ups are for that child and can help sort of unweave some of those tangles around math. Students meet with the math interventionist 4 to 5 days a week for up to 30 minutes a session, depending on the needs of the child. And then the homework that's given is a math game that you and your child can play at home. It addresses the skills that your child needs to work on, and it will be given at the beginning of the week and returned on Friday. What does Title I literacy look like? Students meet with the Title I literacy instructor for 30 minutes, 4 to 5 times a week. And there's usually 2 to 5 students for small group, or it could be a one-to-one intervention for your child, depending on what they need. It's a focused and systematic instruction where each lesson in the intervention program focuses on previous day's learning and work completed at home. So the Foundations program, which is one of the programs that we use, does intense work with phonics at the phoneme and word level. So it builds up to phrases and stories that practice the concept learned. So short vowels would be an example. The Level Literacy Interventions, or LLIs, has a lot of work with engaging text, applying multiple reading strategies to work through books at an instructional level. So you'll notice that one program, the Foundations program, really is at the basic level for word understanding. So we're working with phonics in that beginning reading, whereas LLIs is sort of the next step above. We're looking at reading whole text, applying reading strategies. But the goal of both programs really is to build confidence and to help struggling readers identify what they need to work on. The programs that we use in Title I are all research-based, so we have taken a considerable amount of time researching what are the best programs to really help students become successful. So we are using some of the best programming out there. So a lot of parents want to know, how can I support this program and my child at home? So in math, if your student is a Title I math kid, every week there'll be that new game or activity sent home for you and your child to play together. And these games will have been taught in class the week before and will help reinforce the skills we are working on in class. So your child will know how to play the game. Sometimes they'll be teaching you how to play the game, and that's okay. But if you can support them by sitting down, playing the game with them, asking them questions, that would be really great. For reading, there's an at-home component of each intervention program, and it is a crucial requirement. The best way to support is to show your enthusiasm for reading, encourage your child to read, and to celebrate their successes. Their successes, even the smallest ones, celebrate it because it builds that confidence in reading. And if you can share what you're reading and demonstrate reading with your kids, that's wonderful too. So some next steps. We took the feedback from our first Title I night and we created that compact. And so you'll see that come home. We are going to have another Title I night later in the spring where we're going to invite our students to showcase some of their work. So you'll see some information coming home about that when it gets a little bit closer. If you have any questions about this presentation, about Title I programming, or about how your child is doing in the Title I program, please do not hesitate to reach out and contact myself or one of the Title I teachers. Thank you for your time.